What is up, everybody? It is Friday afternoon / evening / morning, wherever you are in the world. It's me, MonkMMATics. It's Lou at Lou Betya, and we are here during happy hour. That's right. We're bringing you the happy hour right here on the MMA Engine channel, guys. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and me and Lou are going to be going into all the betting lines, all the DraftKings advice that you need for UFC Vegas 61, headlined by Mackenzie Dern and Yao Zhaonan. Lou, how you doing this weekend? It is the weekend officially.
What's up, hoes? As Weezy would say. I'm doing good. Just finished doing lock show a little bit ago. Did the prop show yesterday.
Yes, sir.
As Donald in the chat said, I was big on my girl Jill DeCourcy winning the title. 3-1 underdog, pulls off first round submission. Miss DeCourcy, if you ever watched this, just one last time, congratulations. And I'm probably way more handsome than you thought I was just by being a Twitter guy.
That's got to be true.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope so. But I'm ready for this card, dude. I don't really care about the fight we lost.
True.
I wouldn't have had a bet on it anyway. But and also, Penne is not old enough to be in my old person parlay that I showed you the other day.
She's not quite 40, is she?
You got to be in your 40s to be in the old person parlay that I'm doing.
That's true. Well, stay tuned, everyone, and we will get into the geriatric parlay that Lou has put together. Exactly. Let's shout out the chat. Addicted to Combat in the house. What's up, my guy, Donald? The king of Invicta Queens, Lou Betya. You know it. Jenna Doyle, what is happening? MMA Engine. Who's that guy? Of course. What is up?
Some douche.
All right, guys. Well, without further ado, we won't keep you any longer. We know you got a busy Friday. We know you got to get food in your belly as well.
Average.
So exactly. We got kind of an early-ish card tomorrow, at least for here in the U.S. It's about, I think, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Central, I believe. First fight, Randy Costa going against Guido Canetti. I'll go ahead and start this one off, Lou. I think this is probably going to be my highest owned fight. It's going to be first or second for sure. Randy Costa, 9,200. I mean, this guy, you know the story. It's Friday, man. You've been listening to the narrative all week. Randy Costa, if he goes out of the first round, he loses. If the fight finishes in the first round, he wins. Tons of power, zero cardio. Guido Canetti on the other side, 42 years old, almost 43. I think that may qualify him for the geriatric parlay this week.
Easy with this age hate, man.
Guido Canetti, I mean, $7,000. This guy just finished Chris Moutinho. I know it's Chris Moutinho, but still, Sean O'Malley couldn't even finish Chris Moutinho in the first round. So, tongue in cheek, jokes aside, I love the Guido Canetti side here. I love the Randy Costa side. If I was betting it, I'd have to go dog or pass, but this is DraftKings, so I'll have a pretty equal share of probably both guys. And like I said, this one might be like 80% owned for me, Lou. What are you thinking as far as betting lines for this one? I mean, got to be some under or inside the distance here. Something.
So just for the record, because I'm not going to do as many lineups as you, this will be in 100% of my lineups.
Yep, probably.
There's one other fight we're going to get to soon-ish that will be in 100% of my lineups also. But this one's in. I am completely on the Canetti side here. I'm just going to say this, like I said, I put this out there yesterday on my prop show. If you like the Costa side, DraftKings has a bet. Costa in under half a round is plus 280 for Costa, and he's never won a fight past the 2.5 minute mark. So I think that's kind of an interesting way to attack it. But for me, I like the Canetti side. Costa, this is his 10th professional fight. He only had a couple amateurs too. So Canetti's the way more experienced guy. I think he's the more precise striker. He certainly has power. I'm not saying Costa doesn't. And look, Costa against Yanez did nothing wrong in the first round. And most people would have dropped, but he didn't. And he had nothing. But the Tony Kelly fight I wasn't impressed with. Now, he's young enough to make, some tweaks to his game. But I don't think we're going to see that here. And I don't think cardio is going to matter here. And I think Canetti can take shots. And I think eventually he finds the chin of Costa. So I have the under 1.5 as a parlay piece. I have Canetti KO at plus 500. And I did take a poke on Canetti round 2 KO because that's where Costa loses all time. So I took Canetti round 2. DraftKings had it at plus 1,400. FanDuel has it at a little nicer price. I'm going to check BetMGM too. I know that every fight card, they seem to have one line that is so randomly off, like plus 9,000 for I think it was like Dontel Mays round 3 sub was like plus 11,000. And it's like, yeah, it's not going to happen, but like you have to take a poke on it. Right? So maybe there's like a fraud line out there, but I think Kennedy gets done. And yeah, that's just about it.
That would be huge. Right now,
And
his
his
average
salary
line
and it's
almost plus
salary
250.
savings. And it's
Oh,
salary
huge.
savings for the
Huge salary savings because there's some guys at the top that are looking really good.
There's a downside here, though. And, this is the big downside. I know a lot of people don't like putting the first fight in their, a lot of times, like, it's like they don't want to get their night ruined immediately.
Yeah.
The big problem with Kennedy and Costa here is their floor is like 1.
Yep.
So, whatever lineup is the loser, don't even bother looking at it the rest of the night.
Exactly.
Like, you're done. That lineup is trashed.
And then the opposite of that, even if you don't like playing the first fight of the night and then Costa flatlines Kennedy in like 60 seconds, then you have, FOMO right there where you didn't play the first fight. And now Costa, just scored like 110, 115. And at 9,200, that's probably, could be good enough to make optimal. So either way, our advice is play the shit out of this fight for sure. Just play it.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Next fight. This one's still on. Julia Stoliarenko going against Chelsea Chandler. This one is at catchweight, I believe, 140. Why don't you go ahead and start this one off, Lou? Closest line fight on the card as far as DraftKings goes.
Yeah, and I don't know why it's so close because I did the tape on Chandler and did not come away super impressed. She fought. You look at the combined record of her opponents, and they're good, but like her opponents were like a bunch of nobodies. And she got away with just a lot of being defensively irresponsible in those fights, ducking her head, really bad entries, trying to get into like close range boxing. Nothing she did was impressive to me. I'm on Stoliarenko for the sub plus 300. I'm on the round 1 sub. If it ain't broke, don't fix it at plus 600.
Yep.
Say what you want about JRC, but JRC trained all camp not to get in that spot. She got in that spot
immediately.
And Chandler this is certainly going to be, what's up, Propaholic? Chandler this is a step down in competition for Stoliarenko. It's a massive step up for Chandler. Even if Stoliarenko is a one-dimensional fighter, she's very good at that one dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will take one takedown. If you want to even play safer than that, I've seen people saying fight doesn't go. I don't like that at all for this play because I don't think Chandler has finish equity. I think if Chandler can keep this on the feet, maybe she wins a decision, or Stoliarenko has decision upside anyway if she's just getting takedowns and if she can't wrap up an arm. But if you want to play it safer, Stoliarenko's great price here at minus 115, minus 110 range. But like I said, take the sub, take her prime winning condition. And I think, wait to hear you, but for her price, I mean, what did she score against JRC? 110?
It was 122.
Was it under a minute?
It was, yes.
Okay.
She landed 6 strikes and a takedown and control time as well.
And there's no reason that can't happen here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you never know, but there's no reason. I mean, how long would it take her to wrap up the armbar when she's on the ground? 15 seconds?
Instant. Yeah.
And then one to get the tap once it was in. So could she get a takedown within the first minute? I think she could.
Yeah, I think the ceiling here is the side is Stoliarenko. I mean, Chandler short of, something very surprising to me and you, it sounds like. I don't like her at all. I'll be very low owned on.
She may be
Chandler.
Very nice.
Sure.
I mean, or maybe she's not nice.
Yeah, we just don't know. But yeah, I like the Stoliarenko side. I mean, for all the reasons you just said. I mean, we only have to go on her last fight. In her previous 5, she is 1-4. Then she left for a while, blah blah blah, came back and snapped Jessica Rose Clark's arm pretty much within the first 40 seconds or so. So I'm liking the Stoliarenko side here. For, like I said, all the reasons Lou said. I think her ceiling on DraftKings is extremely high. Chandler's probably not as high, and her floor is very low. Is Chandler? So I think Stoliarenko is going to put it on here. That's just how I see this one. And like you said, at 8,200, we're probably getting a break on her, a pretty decent deal. This fight, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people. Our guy Uncle Wheezy, this is his ass shaving of the week. I don't know if I agree with this pick at all. Maxim Grishin going against Felipe Lins. I'll go ahead and start this one off. I don't like anything about Maxim Grishin. This is a low level fight if there ever was one at light heavyweight. I don't like anything about Maxim Grishin. He's very pretty low volume, 2.39 points a minute, scores only 82 when he wins, gets taken down, gets controlled. in the UFC so far. Did put up a decent showing against Dustin Jacoby, and that loss has aged well. In fact, according to just the stats, if you take out round by round scoring, Grishin actually won that fight pretty handily. Showed well against Antigulov and William Knight. That was a decent fight, much closer than it should have been, in my opinion, because Knight is pretty much dead in the water after 3 minutes into the fight. So I think Grishin should have probably, come close to finishing him. Lins has been knocked out, yes, 4 times in his career out of 5 losses. Only once in the UFC. Obviously, he only has 2 losses, and being knocked out in one of them isn't too great. But I am not on board with Grishin just runs through Felipe Lins here. I personally think this one could go to decision. I think the winner could score very low, possibly 70s, 80s maybe. And I'm just not excited about this fight. I guess I'm going to have to play a little bit of it. The salaries are very nice to play, especially that $7,700 side. But I honestly like Lins here. I don't know about you, but I think this one's going to be close. But I don't mind the Lins side. I don't think he's going to come out here and get smashed. Obviously, I could be wrong with that chin. But yeah, I'm low on this fight for sure. What do you think about this one?
I just want to stress that I think this is an autocorrect because I don't know if she wants to be better than her polenta. Polenta is of course like cornmeal.
Yeah,
corn,
delicious.
Right. So delicious. I mean, it's okay.
It's pretty good.
Let's put it this way. I'd want to be better than what polenta's rank is on the food totem pole.
Oh, that's true.
If I was a professional fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So I am with Wheezy here. I think this is an absolute fucking bad spot for Grishin. Oh yeah, man. First of all, I think Lins is like a bum. He struggled with Prachnio, and then I had a bet on Lins round 2, his last fight, and the ref told Prachnio twice, if you don't do anything, I'm going to stop the fight. And Lins just did nothing. He stood back instead of attacking. He was like 2 punches away from just getting a win, and he didn't do anything. Whereas with Grishin, you talk about the William Knight fight, Knight was so big for that fight. He's like 15 pounds bigger. And Grishin just outmuscled him everywhere. Outmuscled him in the clinch. They hit the ground. He outmuscled them. I was impressed. And they're both, age isn't really a factor here. They're both older. So I don't look at that. But I just think Grishin is so much better everywhere. He throws way more volume. And I think he can get a KO here. I have that prop. It's plus 275. I'm not thrilled with the price. I'm really not. But Lin's chin, I don't think is very good. I mean,
no, it doesn't seem.
I know it was at heavyweight, but if Bozer can knock you out, come on, dude.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah. I like Grishin as a parlay piece. So give me Grishin. And as far as my end on DK, I don't think I want either one of these guys.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I'm seeing it. I don't think he can take him down over and over per se, but if he does happen to get a takedown, this is going to stay on the ground and Grishin will get controlled. I mean, Lins will just lay on top of him. It'll be boring as hell. We're going to get all the Twitter people coming out saying, you can't win a round if you're on top and you don't do shit. Mark my words, that will happen if Lins gets a takedown this week. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of it on DK either. Let's keep it moving. Another probably boring as hell fight, in my opinion. Brendan Allen going against Krzysztof Jotko. What do you got for this one? Anything exciting? Not too often you get something exciting when a Jotko fight happens.
I do have something exciting for this because when I see numbers like this, I lose my mind. I think this fight goes decision at least 9 out of 10 times. When you had Jotko didn't put away Amadovsky, but more importantly, it's just the style of Jotko fights. I know people think it's boring, but he does. If you look at his numbers, it works. But if you look at his numbers, he's thrown a lot. He throws lots of strikes, at least statistically, even though it doesn't really appear that it does. He was taken down GM3, he had no problem doing that when he needed to. He manages his distance well, whereas Brendan Allen, maybe in a vacuum, he has more skills and he's flashier. He also has a horrible fight IQ and does stupid shit. He fought. I had the Jacob Malkoun decision. I was going to be so excited about that. And I didn't get screwed. I thought Allen did win, but it's close. But Allen fought a 15-minute fight on the ground when he didn't have to. Yeah. And then when he fought Soriano, he fought the whole thing on his feet. So he just fights to his opponent's game plan. And I never liked that. Now, this fight going the distance as often as I do, I did bet fight goes at minus 165. I think the price is crazy for.
I don't mind that.
The only reason I can think it's not higher is just Allen But even Allen, like he went this with Soriano, went this with Malkoun. Like Jocko goes this every fight. So for me, if I'm going to take a fight that goes the distance, and I don't think one guy's going to dominate it, I took the split decision props.
Okay.
And I took each guy to win by split decision.
Nice.
Allen by split is plus 1,100, and Jocko is plus 850. It's weird that number is so there's so much of a gap between those numbers, with the line being almost a pick 'em.
That's true.
So I think Allen can maybe Jocko's going to win the minutes. Allen can win the moments, but I don't think anybody gets further out of there. And if that's the case, I think it's some weird judging going on here. So fade for DraftKings for me also. Like complete, like the winner could get 70 or less.
Yeah.
This could be like what's the guy's name? This is the second time I can't remember his name that fought Rodrigo de Lima, the 50s Blagoy.
Oh yeah.
Blagoy got like fucking 55 points in a win or some shit. Yeah. Like 30 with the win bonus, and then like some insane amount where you're like, oh my god, like
who was it 2 weeks ago that had 39 in a win? It was the first fight of the night. Guys, hell, I think it was the France card. Put it in the chat, guys. I'm almost. It was 39 points in a win. I want to say Basharat. I know for a fact that's not true. It was the week before. I just can't remember this guy's name.
I'm gonna pull up the card from the France one, and I'll be able to know. It wasn't Faris.
No. He made the optimal lineup in that. He was the opposite. He should have scored 50, and he put up like 90 some.
Okay, well, it definitely wasn't these first three.
Okay, maybe
was it Hackparast?
No, maybe it wasn't the France card. Munir Lazez, his last fight. It was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Put up 39 points. Yeah, so I'll keep this one short since I just babbled about someone I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, this is a big fade on DraftKings. I mean, even if you want to play, I think that the ownership is crazy high. I think the ownership total is like almost 50%. I think it's like 25% for Brendan Allen and almost 20% for Jotko, which I think both numbers are asinine and ridiculous. So I'm staying away from this one for the most part. You'd have to go way over the field to get any kind of a leverage play here, and I don't see it. I mean, put Stoliarenko in instead over either of those guys. Here's a decent one. Maybe this is the one you were alluding to earlier. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Joaquin Silva going against Jesse Ronson. I like this one a lot for DraftKings. I think both of these guys are probably not good. Both of them could probably get finished at any time. Silva, speaking of Nasrat Haqparast has like one KO in his whole career, basically, at least in the UFC, and it was against Joaquin Silva. So I'm not a fan of Jesse Ronson. Has his own birthday tattooed on his arm. So how do you root for either of these guys? I'm picking the underdog, $7,800, a little bit of salary savings. I think Ronson probably can get it done inside the distance more often than I can't even say that. I just like the Ronson side. I think there's way more value on the Ronson side. His ownership is barely over 10%, guys, and this is why I like him so much. So I'll be at like, I don't know, 25-30% Ronson, maybe even higher than that. Silva, I'll probably be pretty close to that on Silva, as I think, like I said, either one of these guys could get finished at any time. So I don't expect this to go the distance. I don't like either fighter for DraftKings generally, but when you're playing them against each other, yeah, this is going to be sloppy, high variance, and hopefully a big finish. What do you think about this one? Is this the other one where you were going to get to a ton of?
This is 1,000,000% the other one. I think that
under
2.5 is one of my favorite bets in the card. I can't trust either one. Ronson lost. The last time he lost was that I think it was like an 8-day span where 3 people nicknamed the Body Snatcher fought and lost.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Dwight Grant. It was Dwight Grant, and then it was somebody in boxing, and I was like, okay, so don't be named the Body Snatcher. like just do not have this as your nickname. You're probably all right. Excuse me. So I can't trust Silva's chin. I can't trust that Silva's necessarily going to grapple, although he should, because A, he's decent at it, and B, he's coming off 2 knockout losses. Jesse Ronson has horrible ground game.
Oh, yeah.
And is liable to get either ground and pounded. I think he's liable to get choked. And Silva's submission is plus 400. I'm not touching this prop. I need more meat on the bone for that. But I just think it's interesting that that's his out of the three ways they have him listed to win, that's the widest odds, like even over a decision, which is kind of weird to me. But I think it's like plus 225 KO, 350 decision, 400 subs. It's weird. That's the way it is, but they must know something to put it that way. But the fact of the matter is Silva's very live to get knocked the fuck out. Ronson, although he doesn't get knocked out a lot, is very live to get knocked out here. And he's very live to get subbed, or again, like I said, just ground and pound, anything on the ground. So I love the under here. I don't know that I fully agree with your assessment about. I like the idea of Ronson. Well, you're saying as a leverage spot, he's a great.
Yeah, I think I'll be well over the field on him.
So in that, I like it. But this is another fight where, like, man, I think the loser does horribly, at least with Silva, because he has some upside on the ground. I kind of lean, like, I'm going to have both of them. And honestly, I'm probably going to go like 50-50.
Exactly. Yep.
Like, if I can go 50-50 with this fight and with the Silva Canetti fight, and just that means I'll have one lineup where I feel like I get at least 200 some points by this. And if Stoliarenko's in that lineup too, I could be looking at 300 some points after 3 fights. All of a sudden you start, your butthole starts getting a little,
for sure.
You
start chanting for decisions after that.
Yeah. You start rooting for nothing. You're like, go Jan decision. But I think I kind of need to go 50-50 here because I just don't trust either guy, but I trust that somebody will die quicker.
Yep. Completely agree. That's how I see it.
Now this is going to be like a split decision. I'm going to hate my life.
Yeah. Same. I'll be right there with you. The two highest owned fights right there.
I think Ronson has the better, like, I don't want to say quick win bonus, but I think he has the better round 1 KO for sure.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I think Silva could wear him out. And not that I think it's going decision, but Silva in a decision win means he got grappling going. He still may score a lot if that's the path he chose. Ronson cannot choose that path.
No, it's knockout or bust for the most part. Sloppy heavyweight fight. Old man fight here. Alexei Oleinik going against Ilir Latifi. I mean, the combined age here is 84 years, I believe, like 5 months, something like that. Yeah, 84 years, almost 6 months. What do you think about this one? Anything jumping out to you? Do you like the sub? Can you sub a man with no neck?
Yeah, I know that's the thing. I actually have a bet on this. Or I haven't done it yet, but it's queued up in my, like, this is for post show when I lock everything in. I like the Latifi side here, and I kind of hate it. I know Weezy came in a locks chat, and he's like, "No, Latifi sucks." And it's not like I think Latifi's a world beater, but look, man, the last Oleinik fight, he's fighting Vandera. I mean, honestly, he only won that fight because Vandera is dope.
Yeah,
because Vandera had it won, and he was beating him,
and he wants to grapple with him.
And then it's like, what are you doing? The thing is Latifi's grappling isn't bad, but more importantly, Latifi's like really good defensively responsible wrestler. Whereas, like, first of all, on the
feet, better be, he doesn't do anything on offense.
But that's what I'm saying is he's low volume, but he hits hard. But more importantly, like, he could take it. Oleinik can't knock him out. So Oleinik's best hope to win the fight is either a boring ass decision, which I'm not ruling out, or Latifi. If I don't know did I break this down yesterday? I can't remember anymore, dude. Was
it on the critically acclaimed show? Props to consider and maybe bet.
No, I didn't know. I didn't even put this one in there, man. I mean, if you like Oleinik, the plus 300 on the subs, fine. But I actually think he can win a decision here, and I think Latifi can win a decision by just laying on him. I think Latifi on the ground, like, Oleinik needs this fight on the ground, and I think Latifi can wet blanket him, and maybe it doesn't have to be exciting. But I think he can lay on him for minute after minute after minute. Oleinik can't win minutes here. Latifi can. Yep. And yeah, it's not exciting unless he's closing out a parlay and you're like, lay on him. Just, yes, this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
2-0. Don't put your head anywhere near this.
Please,
fucker.
No, yeah. Get him north-south immediately.
I think Latifi, like, I have it queued up to bet. I don't know that I want to bet it. And that's the thing. I don't care if I lose a little bit of money not making a bet that would have come through, because I don't really want to root for him.
Yeah.
Like, I want to root for Oleinik.
Exactly.
But as Paul Shaughnessy said, let's just hope nobody gets hurt. So give me Latifi to win. His KO's plus 140. And I think his decision's like liver than the KO, to be honest. If he's up 2-0, Let's say he's just up 2-0 laying on.
He's plus 300 win by decision.
Let's say he wins the first 2 rounds just by like his usual laying on him. Why is he he's not gonna go for a KO in a third. Like his KO equity's early. I don't think his KO equity's past the second round because at that point, neither one has great cardio, but Latifi is going to be so happy to either try to get a takedown and do nothing or just keep it on the feet.
Yep.
And he's not going to throw much. So, like, to me, I think just take Latifi outright. Decision's a fun prop. It's never fun root for decisions, but Latifi, I don't think Oleinik can win a decision here. I don't see his path here, even though I know he has a recent decision win. I do not see his path. Was it Spivak, I think?
Yeah.
Spivak just looked horrible in that fight. Had no cardio. That thing stayed on the feet for 15 minutes. It was the most bizarre, one of the stranger like fight scripts I've ever seen in my life. Like I am shocked that it played out the way it did. I just don't see that playing out here. I just, I'm gonna say Latifi's the pick, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think Latifi decision is the obvious pick here, but I will be rooting for Oleinik. That said, I don't want to put Latifi in hardly any lineups. I mean, the guy doesn't score very well at all. As we said, very low volume, does, land some takedowns and control time. He's not going to want to do that here probably unless Lou said he's going for the wet blanket approach, which I suppose could happen for sure.
It could 1,000,000% happen.
Yeah, it really could, man. I mean, what do you think his potential is of rinse and repeat takedowns, or you think it's just one? It's probably just one.
It's probably just
one per round,
and it's probably 8 strikes the whole fight. Like you're not gonna get
exactly. Yeah, I mean, you pick Oleinik, you put Oleinik in your GPP lineups because if you think he can, find that submission that he likes to do. But Latifi, how do you play this guy in DraftKings at all? I don't think you do.
What's his ownership?
Oh God, I'd have to look. I think it was pretty high though. I think it was probably mid-20s. If I had to guess, maybe even more. I don't know. I'd probably say it was. I think it was mid-20s. I'd have to look again.
I mean, I get like if you play Oleinik, I get it. I get it. If you play him in a lineup, like because you're playing his win being like him getting you 100 points. I understand that.
Yep. Even though the fight, Jared Vanderaa, he didn't even score 100. He scored just under, but still.
He got what? Well, you know why? Because he
99.5.
Because I don't think he really didn't land any strikes.
Yep.
He didn't get
8 strikes,
and it wasn't a takedown.
No takedown,
just control time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And Jared Vanderaa actually out controlled him by 4.5%.
Good Lord.
24% control time to 20.
So
yeah, this whole fight's embarrassing. It seems like.
No, come on.
Yeah,
man.
This is.
Don't be a purist.
This I'll be rooting for Oleinik. That's for sure. But yeah, as far as DraftKings, I don't know how you can play Latifi.
You're not going to enjoy. Come on, man! Like you enjoyed the shit out of Mike Jackson and Dean Barry. Like
I would have enjoyed it more if I would have had more Mike Jackson in my lineup.
All these dudes that were like, well, and dudettes. I don't want to be
true
sexist here, but like all these people that were like, oh man, this is so disgraceful, and like this shouldn't be on.
Oh no, I was.
It's like, look, man, look. Should it be on this card? Probably not. But also, look, man, do you want to eat steak all the time, or is it okay to have like strawberry ice cream or like water ice or it's like
water ice?
It's cool. We got water ice. It's cool to like mix it up. It's cool to mix it up. And
I agree.
And look, the Dean Barry fights of the world are what make. Yeah, Mike Jackson, Pete Rodriguez, like,
oh my God,
that's gonna be such a weird fight, man. Like,
wait, is that a thing that's happening?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They gave Pete Rodriguez another fight.
Well, he took that fight on like fucking 4 days' notice, man, didn't he? Against that
one day for every professional fight he had.
Okay, let's be honest. And look, man, in all fairness, Jack Dell is really good.
That's true, but like, what a shit fit, Mike. Jackson
obviously
and
they
Pete
like
Rodriguez.
Yeah, but obviously they see something in this kid, and Dana White obviously just hates Mike Jackson,
dude. I guess
so. He's like, "I'll give you this fight if you promise to just like brutalize."
Who does he hate more, Mike Jackson or Jamie Pickett? That's
I think with
Jamie. A new show.
No, I think with Jamie Pickett, it became like he has to give Bo somebody, and he's like, "Look, I was gonna cut you." But I'll give you another fight if you want. And it's like, I mean, you just lost to Chululin.
Chululin.
I thought the number when it came out was going to be like minus 900 because I'm like,
it's double.
It's his first UFC fight. It's probably be like minus 900. His finished prop be like minus 500. Saw the minus 18. We're just not going to be able to bet this guy. That's the problem.
This is Kayla Harrison.
I know. And I like watching her too because she just goes out there and annihilates fools. Like it's pretty awesome. It's like on the old school wrestling shows when like, you know, the dude, like 450-pound dude's facing like a beanpole and he splashes him after 2 minutes from like, and it's over. And it's like, yeah, it's not like that exciting, but it's like kind of hilarious. And like, and Bo Nickel just like annihilating people. Like I get nervous when he fights because I'm like, I know what he's going to do, but I get nervous because I really want this kid to succeed like so badly.
I mean, everyone is saying how impressive he is. Oh my God. What's his seal? I mean, there's literally Ariel and Pete and Chuck are like, so does he fight for a title in a year?
Hey, two weeks ago, I said on this show, if he fought Khamzat right now, what would be the line? And you all said minus 500.
I did, yeah.
And now you're looking, you're like, maybe. Like it's crazy to think that, but like, man, his skill set's good. And I think he can. And look, we'll get into that fight down the road. Yeah. I told you, I called it. 2024. They're going to fight for the title at 185.
Dude, I mean, what would? Oh my God, we can't keep
talking
about this.
But he's going to beat Roman Reigns and unify the WWE title and the UFC title.
Finally,
Brock could not do before him.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, geez. Here's a decent one. I mean, everybody's on this fight as well. Mike Davis, Vyacheslav Borshev, a.k.a. Slava Claus. I don't know who started the last one, but I'll go ahead and start this one.
That's good pronunciation. That was Bert level.
Nice.
Like,
I've been practicing.
Vyacheslav Borshev.
Vyacheslav Borshev.
That was really good. I'm impressed.
I've been drinking, had a little vodka today, so I got my V's going. 4 points a minute for Mike Davis, 112 when he wins. Guys, he hasn't fought in a year and like I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, something like that. But he is $433 over his average salary, so not too bad. Meanwhile, Borshev, I'm just vamping. Here's what it boils down to. Borshev got exposed in his last fight like no one else that I've seen in quite a while. Mark Diakiese took him down not once, not twice, but 11 times, 83% control time. Diakiese scored, I don't know, a gazillion points, well over 110 points in that one. I think it was damn near 120. Yeah, I think Mike Davis is probably maybe the better striker. I'm not sure. I'd be interested to hear what you say. It's at least close. At least it's close, but Davis definitely has some of the wrestling credentials that Borshev does not, and has proven that he does not. I mean, he gave up almost 5 points per minute to Diakiese in that fight in just takedowns and control time. So as far as DraftKings go, I think you have to play this. Borshev could, Mike Davis hasn't fought in forever. Maybe he gets touched up a couple, once or twice, and he goes down. Borshev finishes it off. That is a possibility early in the fight. I kind of think that Mike Davis has this one, though. I like the takedown upside that he should probably show if he did any kind of tape whatsoever. I'm sure his coaches are, telling him that's the way to go here. So I like the Davis side. I like this one for DraftKings. I won't be as high on it. It'll probably be my third, fourth most exposed fight, something like that. I like the other two we mentioned a bit more, but this one definitely is in the running for one of my favorite fights to play. What do you think about this one? Do you agree? Do you have to roster both of these sides, at least the Davis side?
I don't agree with anything you just said.
Oh, shit.
Because I'm heavy on Slava Claus, but I will admit that part of it is my bias in that I want to see the Russian dance.
Yeah, that's true.
You're un-American to not want that dance to happen. It's very un-American if you're not rooting for that. So the problem I have is, no, I don't disagree with everything you said. There's a lot of merit to what you said about that Davis has to take an upside. I do not think he's the better striker. That is one thing I do not agree with. Borshev's striking is really good, and I think he's got a power advantage too. Borshev is lethal. Like this dude's and his body shots are lethal. Like this is a dude who I'm always a sucker. I'm not pro Russia. I just like the dance. The dance is amazing, dude. Like, don't tell me you don't want to see him do the Russian dance when he wins. Like, look, if you told me right now that Mike Davis would do the Russian dance if he won, I'm good with that. I'm rooting for Mike Davis. Like, that's fine.
He should.
I just think it's like the
everyone
Balky.
should.
It's like for those of you who remember, like Balky Bartakamus. It's like the dance of joy, man. Like,
I'm gonna go. I like and that. Say no one in chat knows what you're talking about.
That's all right. In Russia, party find you. So Mike Davis, like, this is a video game, and I'm not worried about like the extracurriculars. Like, yeah, Mike Davis probably wins. The problem is he hasn't fought in a while.
Yep.
And I don't know that he has the cardio to consistently take down Borshev, because Borshev can get up. I mean, his get up game is good, and you have to think that all they've been working on is his takedown defense.
You would think.
And the thing is I think Davis can be the minute winner with the ground game, but as this fight goes on, I think Borshev could take over. So I'm not betting this fight pre-fight. If Borshev has gone through the first round, he's showing he can get up and he hasn't taken any damage, I will look to live bet him at like the plus 300, plus 300, like plus 350 range, because I think Borshev, whereas I think he's probably mostly KO dependent, there's a path for him to win a decision if he's landing shots and Davis is just tough. So I think Davis wins the first round and gets a lot of takedowns, but if he doesn't do anything with them, it's going to be interesting. Like, because I do think Borshev on the feet's going to have an advantage here. So, Diakese, like, look, I don't like watching Diakese. We're talking about boring fighters. Mark Diakese is a very boring fighter.
Sure.
But Diakese went in with a strategy. His job was on the line, knew how he had to win this fight, and he executed it perfectly.
Perfect. Yep. Exactly.
Mike Davis is not going to only go 15 minutes for takedowns and blanket him. Like, he's not that kind of fighter. I think takedowns will be there, but I don't think that's the prime goal here. And he's saying, and Slava, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I like his striking a lot. Like,
it's definitely the best part of his game for sure. Hopefully he just cleared up some of that takedown defense. And yeah, I guess what it is going to come down to is Mike Davis's cardio, like you said.
Because Borshev's cardio has proven to be good. He looked fresh. I mean, he definitely looked fresh in the third round against Diakese. He just couldn't do anything, but he didn't look tired. And he should have been tired.
Yeah, exactly. Being taken down that many times. Good God. Oops, I almost messed it up. You almost got me. Not so fast as Lee Corso. Is that Lee Corso? Yeah, Lee Corso would say. John Castaneda, next fight, going against Daniel Willie Cat Santos. What do you think about this one? Because I think this probably has Castaneda written all over it, but Santos is kind of, has been kind of nice with the hands occasionally in his pro career.
Flash Score just wrote me back. Do you know what Flash Score is?
No, I don't think so.
It's a scoring app. It's like for tennis and soccer, it's really good. But like they do all the sports. But I had written something about like their descriptions, like they do live commentary.
I saw. Yeah,
it's clearly
take a bow, son.
Take a bow, son. And then they just wrote me back. They're like, "You like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that should be like all your shit. Take a bow, son." So I'm not betting this fight. I lean Castaneda. The price is so high though. Yeah, I mean, I think Wiley Cat has the finish upside here. I said this earlier, man. The one thing I worry about with Santos is, Yambags. I'm never going to argue with. Oh, Grisham Lins is my Yambag special. I forgot to bring that up.
That's a good one. I like that one.
So the problem I have with Santos is this: he fought Arce. Arce's. I think Julio Arce is really good. I think he's really technical.
Agreed.
I think he's a horrible first fight for anybody in the UFC because he's so levels above everybody in his technical striking. Here's a problem I have with the way Santos went about it. He went for all sorts of highlight reel shit the first round. Wasn't anywhere near it. Arce kept hitting the body. By the second round, Santos, to me, lost the will to fight. He was just throwing desperation stuff from like 10 feet away. There's nothing that was ever going to get close. And Arce just bullied him against the cage and started battering him.
Yep.
I don't love Castaneda, and I think he's a slow starter. I think if you like Santos, he's round one. Round one KO for Santos. I get it. I think Castaneda can weather the storm and take over and win a decision or get a late finish, but I am not touching Castaneda at minus 200 something in this fight. I think the price is weird. I just can't get to Santos with what I saw last fight, but I think Santos early as a bet is the way to play it. I don't know that Santos wins a decision because I do think Castaneda can mix up a lot of wrestling here,
right,
and sap him.
That's the worry.
Santos feels finish dependent. As far as like a DK play, I think they both have some kind of sneaky good upside. But
yeah, and that was exactly what I was going to say. Santos, you have to play him a little bit because of that round one upside, like Lou said. But Castaneda, you can't just write him off, even at 8,800. I mean, Santos did went to decision, like you said, against Arce. But he, Castaneda could put it on him too. Has a little bit of wrestling, like you said. Hasn't really shown it too much in his 3 UFC fights, but it is there, and he has averaged over 100 points per UFC win. He is, let's see, the most expensive he's ever been in the UFC by $500. So he is 8,800. This one's also at catch weight. If that matters to you, it's going to be at 140. Both catch weight fights actually this week are at 140. Very interesting. But yeah, I'm not going to be super high on this one, but I think you do have to play a bit of both sides. Like you said, Santos round one upside is there all day. Castaneda has a bit of takedown upside and possibly a later finish upside. Even then, those fights don't always score well. Late finishes, you only get 45 points for a round 3 finish, something like that. So it does depend on what you're doing before that. But against Miles John, let's see, Castaneda scored 58, 42. Sorry, I'm looking around my camera if you're wondering what I'm doing. 58, 42, and 55 significant strikes. In fact, against Eddie Wineland, he put up 42 in 1 round. So those other 2 are in 3 rounds. So not exactly a ton of volume, but the potential is there. So I might be pretty equal when it comes to my ownership of Santos and Castaneda. And again, Santos with the huge round 1 upside, which also comes with a bit of inside the distance upside that's implied. At $7,400, there is a bit of a play there, especially when you know his ownership is going to be about 10%, maybe somewhere between 8 and 12% most likely. So you could be over that and be looking good if that hits. So I don't mind going over a little bit on the Santos side. Here's one that should be probably pretty quick to break down if I know my guy Lou here. Sadiq Youssef going against newcomer Don Shainis. Let's just recap. Youssef was supposed to fight Giga, I believe, on this card, or 2 weeks ago, something like that. What's up, Uncle Wheezy in the house? Shout out your favorite uncle, Uncle Wheezy. Hopefully he's rocking that smoking jacket and just chilling, watching Happy Hour, guys. He's going to lean back, smash that like button like I hope you do as well. Thank you for joining us. We are on to the main card, UFC Vegas 61. Actually, I'll start this one off. Youssef, I think we'll start on the Shainis side, 6,700. I hate playing the 6,700 fight, as you know. Very, very, very low win percent, almost 0 at this point. But I think Shainis does deserve more ownership than the 2.5% he's currently getting. Not much, but some, probably less than 10%. But I will throw him in a couple lineups. I'd like for Shainis to do well. I'd like for him to get a decision loss, maybe score 40 points, but that's probably a fairy tale. Youssef is likely going to come out here, likely finish this fight, and just beat him up and score very well. So I guess I'm gonna have to play Youssef here. I'll probably be under the field. I mean, he's at least 50% owned right now. I can't get to that much Youssef at all. I'll be a little bit over Shainis, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward here. Under on Youssef, over for Shainis. What do you think about this one, Lou?
I want to bring this
Youssef decision is the value play. Interesting.
So not only do I love that, but if you don't want to pucker up for 15 minutes, DraftKings has a nice little bet of Youssef and over 1.5 at -135, which I think is a completely reasonable.
Wow.
It's a great way to cut this number down.
Yep.
Like, I love it. Shainis, it's like, I'm not going to break this fight down. Youssef's going to win.
Yeah.
But Shainis is pretty tough. The only time he ever been finished was his first pro fight.
True.
And Youssef is not some colossal finisher. Like, he didn't finish Caceres. So -135. Let's put it this way: -135 to only have to care for 7.5 minutes is fine. It's fine by me. So that's a play that I already have. I may add to my position on it. Everybody's going to be like that. Everybody thinks this is a smash spot. Youssef round 1, and he's just not that kind of fighter. And Shainis, like I said,
exactly,
like, kind of tough dude, like weirdly tough. Like, so, look, man, it's so hard when you get a guy that's never fought in the UFC. It's coming in short notice. Some dudes can just battle and just hang in there. Like, I mean, it's strange to me. Like, some dudes can battle and some dudes can wilt. I know Shainis didn't look great today on the scales, but like, he's a dude that just doesn't get knocked out. So he didn't get knocked. And by the way, his finish was a doctor stop, but he didn't get knocked out. So dude's pretty tough. So give me Youssef. I like the decision, and I don't know what any of that means. I don't speak. I don't speak your language.
It's delicious, is what it means.
Yeah, you Meg, you and your drugs.
Main event, Raoni Barcelos. You love that. Going against Trevin Jones. What do you think about this one? Because I don't. I like the Barcelos side here. I think he's going to rebound.
Yeah, I have a bet on the over 2.5 here. Barcelos is like, I don't think he has submission equity because he doesn't really proactively grapple. Like, to me, he doesn't proactively grapple enough.
Yep.
And it's like I said, Sheamus is pretty tough. And if you watch some of Sheamus's tape, he's got some ground game. So, like, I think this will stay on the feet as long as possible. I think KO decision only, but it's probably not going to cut that price down very much, unfortunately. And I don't know what that means either. But
that means it smells delicious.
So I'm on the over 2.5 here. I don't think Barcelos is pretty durable. Barcelos is super durable. You know, Victor Henry was battering him. Like, he's pretty tough, even though he's a 35-year-old guy fighting at 135.
Yep.
And Trevin Jones, I just don't love his skill set. I think Jones is going to be losing every second of this fight. And then maybe he wins by flash KO, but I don't think so. I don't think he can put Barcelos away. And meanwhile, Barcelos seems content to like win the minutes on the feet, maybe mix in some grappling. So I think Barcelos' decision is the play. But over 2.5, if Jones starts getting the boxing going late and does start battering Barcelos, like, I like the over 2.5. Split decision is, you'd probably have to have, like, Jones would probably have to land some big shots.
Yeah.
Or take over late. It's not inconceivable. I like over 2.5 here. Just give me like the Barcelos decision.
Mushroom agrees.
Yeah, but he's at the casino right now, just waiting to put the bets in. Like,
well, you know one thing about he's got a full belly. This dude is eating.
Oh yeah, I did.
I can't believe
I just forgot. I did goddamn Gordo's show yesterday.
I was gonna ask if it was Gordo's show.
And like Mushroom sends me all this shit in a DM, and I'm like, "Are you literally sitting at the casino watching the show?" And he's like, and he's laughing. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, no wonder you wanted my props like right now." Like
Mushroom is the fucking man.
He's at the machine. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
So Barcelos decision, but the bet for me is over 2.5 rounds.
Yeah, and that is a worry here, a little gas worry from a couple of our chat mates.
And Jones could take over late, but as much as Barcelos gasses, he's pretty tough. Like, he doesn't get finished. So
exactly. Yeah, yet to be finished in the UFC. Obviously, only 2 losses. In fact, he's only been finished once in his whole career. He has only 3 losses career. So I like the Barcelos side. Honestly, at $9,000 for DraftKings, I think that's a decent deal. Like I said, I think he bounces back. I'm not a huge fan of the Trevin Jones side. I think there's some underdogs that I like a lot better. Your Canettis, maybe some your Ronsons, which are in between these people here. So I like a few more underdogs than Jones. I probably won't have a ton of Jones. I just think Barcelos, can get it done here. I like the 4 points a minute that we're seeing, almost 100 points in a win. Scores okay in a per decision, just under 80. When he wins by knockout or sub, though, 110, 113, some fantastic finishing numbers here. But Jones only been finished twice in his pro career out of 8 professional losses. So I don't exactly think that's going to happen. I agree with you. And whoever, I think it was Mushroom, late third / decision is what I think about this one. I like the Barcelos side as well. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. Randy Rude Boy Brown going against Francisco Trinaldo. I will actually, why don't you start this one? So I'll start the main event off next one, but you start against Randy Brown and Mr. Masaranduba here.
So I have a ridiculous prop on Trinaldo round 2 KO plus 2,500. I don't believe he's going to win this fight. I just could not pass up the price, knowing that Brown has been knocked out in the second round.
True.
In his 2 knockout losses. Now, that being said, Brown by decision is the play here.
Yep.
Look, Danny Roberts stinks.
Yep.
Like, he's just not UFC caliber. He fought a horrible game plan. Brown's going to, I don't want to say dance around the outside, but I think Brown is going to just keep the range, manage it. Trinaldo's going to have to start winging some bombs as this fight goes on, but I think Brown is just going to batter him, like, keep the jab working. I think it's going to be weird if this thing hits the ground. But Brown is a super creative fighter.
He's so long,
but he's hard to train. Like he pulls out some like some of his transitions are like so unique to me. Like the one-arm choke was so weird.
Yeah, against Oliveira.
But I feel like Brown can just kind of manage a distance. And Trinaldo's pretty tough, but I think very comfortable. 30-27, 30-27 decision for Brown. I don't see any other way around it. And it's plus 120, 125 for that. I love it. It's a great way to cut down that minus 300. He is a great parlay piece, but it's a big number. And if you know anything about me from watching the show, and Monk, I fucking hate numbers that have like I hate numbers that have a minus in front of them to begin with, but minus anything more than -1, I hate that shit. Like,
yeah, and we're way over that in this one here. Yeah, let's check this one out between uncertainty between Barcelos, Brown, McKenzie. I probably think probably McKenzie. We haven't talked about her yet, so we'll wait on that one.
I agree. I 100%.
Most likely to lose is probably Barcelos, even though I don't think it's going to happen. I just think Brown rolls, and I like Dern as well.
All right.
We
disagree on that answer. But,
I don't think any of them lose personally. I think all three of them win, but
I think one of them loses. But
and
I've already broken down. And I've already broken down 2 of the fights, so you know who it is.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Lou here. Randy Brown by decision. We're agreeing a lot this week, but I think a lot of these plays are pretty straightforward. I don't mind Brown for DraftKings cash games. GPPs, I'll probably have a little bit less. Brown is going to be very high owned, especially on like FanDuel MVP. I'm sure he will be. But even on DraftKings, 9,300, you're going to have guys get to him. You're probably going to have about 30% ownership. I'll probably be right around there. I'll be very low on Trinaldo. I don't think he has much of an upside here. Brown's got a huge height, reach differential. I mean, 12 years younger.
It's a big salary.
It's such a big salary, especially when you see that he only scores 83 per win. So, like I said, I don't mind him for cash, but if you're trying to win GPPs, you got to hope for a Randy Brown finish. And Trinaldo has been finished exactly 3 times in 36 professional fights, guys. 3 times, that's it. All of them by sub. 2 of them in the UFC, and Randy Brown does have a few subs on his record. In fact, more subs than knockouts in the UFC. But I don't see how that happens here. I like Randy Brown to win, 8.5 times out of 10 probably, and I will be pretty low on Trinaldo. Randy Brown as well for GPPs. I just don't like that play at all. Do love Randy Brown though. Excited to see what he can do against Trinaldo. Next fight, the main event of the evening, Mackenzie Dern going against Yao Xiaonan. I'll start this one off. This one is, you're getting a decent price on Yao Xiaonan. She scores 3 points a minute. She has 7 KO TKOs in her professional career out of 15 wins. Obviously, that is her path to victory. Mackenzie Dern has proven to be hittable in the past. She's never been finished, but there is a first time for everything. I don't think that happens here. I like Dern pretty much however she wants to do it. This one's going to go to the ground. Yao Xiaonan puts herself in terrible positions over and over and over again against far lesser jiu-jitsu practitioners. Dern is the best in the world at 115. In my opinion, she's at least the best in the UFC, and it's not even close, especially at that weight class. If Xiaonan puts herself in a bad position, it's likely she's not going to be able to get out like she has been in the past. I like Dern here. Even if she can't get the finish, guys, I think she gets a few takedowns. The control time is what I'm banking on for a good DraftKings score here. If she gets her down at all, the control time is just going to be constant. It's just going to be, ticking up like who is Jerry Lewis's telethon, baby. You guys remember that. Those numbers just tick up and tick up. That's what Mackenzie Dern's control time is going to do. I think there's a very low percentage Xiaonan wins by KO TKO. I'll have her rostered a bit just for that path. But 80% of me thinks Dern gets this no problem. So I'll definitely be rostering Dern in GPPs. Definitely rostering a bit of Xiaonan in GPPs, but she's not going to be very highly owned, in my opinion. Probably 15%. Definitely. So it'll be easy to take a stand, is what I'm trying to say. Either none or over is what I would do for Xiaonan in this situation. What do you think about this one? Finish us off. Take us home.
From a DK perspective, I almost want to completely fade this fight. Almost. I know you can't. I feel like I know you can't.
You probably should, but you can't. If it goes to decision, I mean, who knows?
If this is 3 rounds, I could fade it. I can't
easy.
fade it at 5 rounds. So I bet Jan no decision only, and the books agree with the whole. She has a decision equity, not Dern. If this fight goes decision, it means it stayed on the feet. And if this fight stays on the feet, Jan is kicking her ass.
That's
because Dern's stand up stinks. I know it's improving, but Jan's got some serious underrated pop. And she's good. The problem becomes if Dern gets takedowns. I get it. So here's the thing. If you like Dern, you take her by sub at -115. I understand that. I don't love the price, but you are getting 25 minutes to play with, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think Jan can kind of weirdly hang in there and hang in there and hang in there and hang in there. This is a potential live bet spot too, because if the first round, if this thing doesn't hit the ground, if Jan can keep it standing, you may get Dern at close to even money.
That would be beautiful.
And then you're not worried about the sub anymore.
Nope.
So I took Jan decision, no bet. I don't love it, but I have it in a parlay. So the thing is I'll be able to hedge out of it with a Dern sub play if I really feel that I want to near the end of the night. But I do not have a strong lean on this fight. Like, I just can't. It feels like it's the setup spot for Dern. I get it. She's the golden child. But I also can't stand her face.
Stop it.
No, like the talking, like the whole. This is not a knock on what she looks like. It's the fake. It's like when she talks with the fake accent, and I'm like, God damn, man, like.
Hey, Madonna came. She had an English accent for a little bit, man. I mean, this.
Well, you know what? When you're fucking Madonna, you've earned the right. You're Mackenzie Dern, not so fast.
About Moderna, and I don't mean the vaccine here.
I just don't have a strong lean. I mean, I get the whole one takedown, it's over thing, but like, her takedowns aren't great. So it's like,
no, and that is the narrative. But Yao Xiaonan is probably one of the worst defensive wrestlers, that she's faced.
Mushroom saying round 4, and that's a lot of sausage he can buy.
That's true.
So. Sure. Dern round 4.
Xiaonan, not bad. 65% takedown defense. Better than I thought it was. I'll give her props for that. She's getting out controlled at an extremely high rate, though. So, yeah, hopefully. I mean, we'll see. I'm leaning Dern for DraftKings, but you got to have some Xiaonan. But if she does, what do you think she could score at anything if she wins by decision?
Who?
Xiaonan, if you're decision only prop. I mean, per decision, she's scoring like 80.
You might get 8. Well, and that's 3-round fight.
And that could do decently for DraftKings.
But that's a 3-round fight. She could probably get.
That's
90.
Also true. Yeah,
she could probably get. I mean, if she's landing a lot of strikes early and the cardio is good, she could get over 100.
That is also true. So yeah, maybe put a little bit more Xiaonan than I was initially. Thinking.
I mean, either way though, I think on a card like this, we're talking about guys like Canetti's a cheap option with a ton of finish upside. Stolyarenko's a cheap option with a lot of finish, like first round upside. The Santos fight with Ronson has a ton of upside, like in terms of, I think the Castaneda fight has a ton of upside both with.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can find people on this card. Like, I think the winning lineup is going to have 6 fighters that went over 100.
I hope so.
So I don't think you need the first fight of the night, somebody's getting 100 points.
Yep.
Unless it's like 5 minutes of Costa landing shots and then Canetti bonks him once to begin the second round. Like, that's and then he gets like 71 points. Or no, he'll get the knockdown too. So like 81 points.
81, yeah.
Which by the way, you still take 81 points for his salary.
True.
You don't
at
love
that
it.
price.
You don't love it, but he's 10x.
7K. Oh yeah.
That's what you want, man.
That's that's what you need. So yeah, I agree.
See, I know things, dude.
True, you do know things.
I know things. Everybody thinks I'm just this fucking degenerate guy that bets plus 2,000s, but I was 1 yard away from taking down a goddamn NFL thing last night.
That's true.
Stupid Joe
Mixon.
Fucking Joe Mixon not getting in the goddamn end zone. What a dick.
Boo. What a dick. He did it on purpose, too.
I told Gordo, I'm like, it's a Joe Mixon game, dude. He's going to – and then, like, first drive of the game, he has, like, 30 rushing yards, a catch, and a touchdown. I'm like, it's a Joe Mixon game, dude. And then nothing.
0.
And they tried. It wasn't like they didn't give him the ball. He just
3 times. You said
he just. God damn it!
Oh,
Stupid.
let's not rehash. Let's focus on our future winnings, not our past Joe Mixons. That is going to do it, guys. That was the main event. Me and Lou are finished. We made some good time tonight, which is good because I am starving. It's someone's birthday here at the house, so we're going to go out and have a fantastic birthday dinner right after this. So I am definitely excited for that because your boy likes to put it down when we go out to eat. So that's what I got going on, guys. Check out my work schedule has been crazy this week. Next week, I promise it'll be more organized. I've set aside time to actually get my videos done, but Salary Voodoo is out. I will never short the MMA engine. So that video, the Voodoo video is out on the MMA engine channel. So check that out if you haven't already this week. Other than that, guys, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy. Lou, what have you got going on?
Nothing.
Soccer
tomorrow. I posted my plays on Twitter. If you guys follow me and you're interested in DGen EPL plays, there's a championship playing there too. But interested in soccer. You're interested in soccer about to start the day. I feel incredibly good about all 3 plays. We're not putting the EAGLES on the board. Eagles can suck it. No, boo. Man, Mushroom got some Polish food today. He was talking about sirs, and I know any of you guys don't live in the Philly area, probably have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I think it might have been on Guy Fieri's show once, but that's like an old school Polish place where people wait around the corner to get fresh pierogies, kielbasa. You got the old Polish birds watching the soap operas in the background.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool. The food is so good. You buy in bulk. You don't go to buy you don't go to buy one thing. You go to buy in bulk, and it's awesome and it's totally worth. It's like the Italian market but Polish.
Nice.
It's very similar, but just watching the games. And then tomorrow, let me just promote this. Tomorrow, this is a little something new. So 4:00 on Blood Money MMA's channel, Cody. It'll be Blood Money, Johnny K Picks, Patrick, and I are going to be doing a watch along to the event.
Nice.
We'll be talking about the bets, live betting, and all 4 of us are going to be drunk.
That sounds amazing. I'm tuning in for sure.
So, dude, you could just pop in and be I am not drunk, but I will pop in and annoy you guys.
There we go.
And we will be
a little
here
impromptu.
Absolutely.
A little monk promptu. So yeah.
Monk promptu.
Guys, that is going to do it. I hope you're going to be eating as good as I am in about an hour. And that is all that we have got. So I want everyone to enjoy the fights. Like I said, have a great weekend. Fights start at 3:00 tomorrow, I believe, Central, 4:00 Eastern. Get those bets in, get those lineups in a little bit early so you can enjoy yourself. And guys, that's going to do it. We will see you next time.